you need in hard conversations. Hello and welcome back to another episode of The Rising Tide with Tara Barot, where I share from life experience, learnings from podcasts, books, and so many other things. And you get to choose to keep it, use it, or completely ignore it. On this episode, saying what you need. First, what does that mean? Well, have you ever been in a situation where you get frustrated because you are waiting for the other person to do something that you have told yourself in your head that they should be doing, but you've never actually said it out loud, and you get annoyed because they don't do it? Yeah. Well, how about saying what you need? Yeah, it sounds like simple, actually, when I say it to myself like this, but here is what happens on your side, on the person who has a need who is unsaid. First, you expect the other person to do something, but you never tell them what it is. So you get frustrated because they're not doing it. Builds up over and over. Why aren't they doing it? Shouldn't they know? Of course they should know. They should know without me saying it. Of course. Come on. Total logic, right? And then you keep not getting what you want. That's even more frustrating because you're like, come on, they know me by heart. They should totally get it and I should get what I want. And then you're just annoyed. Now, from the other person's perspective, you see the person in front of you and you can see they're frustrated, but you have no idea why. You're trying to figure it out, but they're not telling you why they're frustrated. You get frustrated because they're frustrated and you just don't know why. And you also don't know what to do. You try multiple different things, but nothing seems to work because you're seeing things through your mindset, and you're not a mind reader. Nobody is. Or if you are, please do let me know how you're doing it, because that's a magic trick. And nothing works. The results? You're both frustrated, annoyed at each other, and things are okay, but a distance happen, or you just keep growing more angry inside until you blow up, whatever happens. Or, you just stop talking, or you quit, you leave, or whatever reasons. I'm sharing this as I have been on the receiving end for this summer. And on top of it, it didn't help that I was going through a whole bunch of other things that was a lot to take on. And I was taking on a lot on my own, and it was hard. It was hard on its own. And on top of that, I happened to be in a situation where people were expecting things from me and just didn't tell me. They just did not tell me. And I was getting frustrated because I didn't know what to do. I had no clue. And I was going through everything on my own, and I had a lot of things going on, and I wasn't figuring out what they wanted. It was just going I need this, why is this frustrating? I was just building up. And then I ended up stopping. And I did what in the business world you would call the 360 review. I can go into that later on this topic. And I would not recommend anybody doing this unless they're willingly open to receive the feedback and work on it, because it is a hell in your face. But a 360 review in the business world is done anonymously. Whatever that word is. But obviously this wasn't. I went to every single person, asked the same set of questions to each one of them. And when I received the responses, I just wished I had those responses 3 months earlier so I could have acted on them. Because really, they were simple enough to act on. But the reality was then at that time, after 3 months, the frustration had built so much, so long, that I didn't know what to do anymore. And I was exhausted. I was tired, I was exhausted, and I gave up because it just didn't work for me anymore. There's absolutely no regret at what happened. I'm actually grateful for everything that happened, and it was that was it. But it's just knowing that it could have been dealt in a better way. And so saying what you need. On both sides, so now what I do is when I see people who obviously are frustrated but they're not saying something, I try to probe them slowly if I don't know them too much and I know there's a deeper question in there somewhere or a deeper feeling or something. That's what I'll try to do. And if I know them well, I'll just ask the question up front, saying, okay, I can see what's up. I don't know why. Would you please tell me? The solution. Talking, communication, also called a hard conversation. The reason why it's called a hard conversation, or I use that word now, it's because before having that conversation, you're afraid of hurting the other person's feeling. It's an uncomfortable situation where you actually have to share your feelings, have to share what you feel, and you've got to tell your needs. And it feels selfish to tell your needs because you kind of want to put everybody first. But see it that way. If you don't have that conversation, the other person's going to stay frustrated, you're going to stay frustrated, and things aren't going to work out. And there's no good outcome in that situation when it comes to that. Because there will always be something left unsaid, and somebody will hold on to it, and it'll build up, it'll grow, and nothing will be resolved. Unless you can truly let it go, and most people can't. If you can, woo, amazing, do it. Yeah, let it go. I admire that. But the reality about the hard conversation, it's never as hard as you build it up to be in your head. What you put through yourself, how you're putting yourself through the scenario in your head is always worse than what actually is going to be. And on top of that, when you actually have that conversation with the person that needs to be had, there's actually a relief. There's a relief because when somebody tells you what they need, then you go, oh, either I can do it or I can't do it. But you know the solution. It's given to you clear. There's no trying to find what can or cannot be done. You know it. So either you can do it or you can't. But either way, it's a relief. And when you're on the side where you are telling the other person what you need, so it's not on the receiving end, but it's on the telling end of what you need, it can be hard because it also means you're relying on somebody else for help. And up till a year ago, I could not do that. Oh my gosh, asking for help. How could I? I had to sort everything on my own. Of course I did. I still struggle with it occasionally, and I completely comprehend with that. But there is a weight being lifted off when you can just reach out and say, hey, I need you to do this. And again, they can say yes, they can say no, but at least you know where you stand, at least it's clear communication. And the hard feelings, the assumptions, the you should be doing this for me, I'm just like not told or whatever, it's all gone away. There's no weird underlying sort of hidden communication behind. So yeah. To recap, say what you need so that you don't get frustrated, so that the other person know how they can help you and they don't get frustrated either. And the relationship, not romantic, just relationship, two people, siblings, friends, partners, colleagues, whatever, that's a relationship when people have time together, whichever, is saved in one way or another. And to do that, have that conversation. And that conversation will not be as bad as you play it in your own head. That head of yours is not your best friend, always. It can be your super cheerleader, but at time, when it goes back to sort of defaulting mode, it's not your best friend. So, that's a wrap. Thank you for listening. If you've taken anything away from the episode, please do share with your friends, family, colleagues, anybody you can help with. This is not the first time I talk about this topic. Actually, in the past couple of weeks, I have talked to people about this, I think more than one hand. So I'm sure it can help people around you as well. Please do share and follow me. You can find my newsletter where you can find new episodes of this podcast at tarabarot.com, TARABAROT.com. Thank you for listening, and speak to you on the next podcast episode. Thank you. Bye.